Teak, I'm generally a humble guy, Teak. Generally a pretty humble guy.
Okay.
And, but I do feel the need to send out a bit of a platitude my own way here. You have no idea where I'm going with this, do you?
I kind of maybe, but no.
No, it's
really.
not about Paul O'Neill. It's not about. You know who it's about?
I'm saying, how are you working a Yankees reference into this obvious conversation about the Mets?
Not about the Yankees, Teak. Not about the Yankees. I have to take a bow. I am the one who unlocked Lindor. And I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what anybody tweets. I don't care what anybody thinks. Let me back up that ridiculous statement with this. Are you ready?
I am.
Okay. So, you can imagine the tweets I was getting this weekend, right? We haven't been on the air since Friday. By the way, great time over at DJ. So, on Friday. So, on May 12th, God forbid you say something critical. Ooh. So, on May 12th, and I have the article right in front of me, here's the quote attributed to me. Mm-hmm. Quote, I am in the corner that Lindor will find a way to play well, Tierney said. It's early, but if this lingers, if this doesn't change within a month, this guy's going to be target number one. It started to become a bit of an issue, and I don't think it's unfair to say that. I really don't. You know what he's done since that time, that statement?
Tell me.
He's played 17 games. He has 20 hits. He's scored 19 runs. He's got 21 RBIs. He's got 7 extra base hits. He's tacked on 100 points to his OPS since me saying that. So I would like to take a bow for unlocking Lindor.
You think he was actually listening?
It doesn't matter.
You think he cared?
No, I don't think he cares.
I
think Met fans care.
Well, I mean, Met fans who have been, I don't know what their emotion has been regarding Francisco Lindor this season. Let's throw out last year, and it's hard to do that because you have a harsh memory of what went down with Francisco Lindor and his pre-decade-long deal, because that was before the deal kicked in last season with the thumbs down and everything else. And so in the back of your minds, despite knowing that he's your guy going forward for the foreseeable future, it was really easy to have a I hate Francisco Lindor take. Despite how well he started the season, the 207 month of May that he went through, and that's probably picked up because at the end of May he's been smashing it. But it's easy to look at Francisco Lindor and have a negative emotion. But when you look at it objectively, especially over this last 2 weeks, BT, Francisco Lindor has been unbelievable. Mm-hmm. And it makes me think about what the Mets need to do, because you've been on the long time train. Mets need to get a bat. They just don't hit enough home runs. And look, they don't. Mm-hmm. But everything else, it falls in line with, man, this team is elite. I mean, the Dodgers are a tick above everybody else in every statistical category. The Dodgers are up there. But just below, whether it's batting average or RBIs or even hits, they lead the league in hits, on-base percentage, triples.
Infield hits.
Yep, the number of runs, all of that stuff. The Mets are right there.
I know.
Right behind the Dodgers. And I know people say, they need another bat. I don't know if they need another bat.
It's not what they're doing, man.
It would be nice to have
Who
the
is
luxury.
This Plummer character?
I know, Nick Plummer. Like the St. Louis Cardinals didn't want this kid. I mean, he scuffled for a few years.
Oh, his minor league numbers were basically empty.
Yeah, and rookie ball and A ball and high A. He was kind of terrible.
He wasn't a prospect.
No, not at all. And then he just kind of started to find his way, but it was not enough for St. Louis, so they let him go. Mets picked him up last November 25th. They picked him up.
Happy Thanksgiving, Plummer.
Just kind of stashed him right there. So, I mean, do you need another bat? Maybe not if you get these young guys playing the way that they are. Anyway, my point is, the only reason the Mets would go get another bat is to say, God, we can't keep up with the Dodgers when we face them in the NLCS.
Well, let's see how they look against the Dodgers coming up.
That would be the only reason to go get a bat right now, because it's clicking on all cylinders for the Mets.
So it's 10:07 on this Tuesday. Hopefully everybody had an awesome weekend. Tiki and Tierney show inside the Town Fair Tire Studio. Our friends at Town Fair remind you that at Town Fair you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Got a great stat for you. For the first time since blank, the Yanks and the Mets are both in first place on Memorial Day.
Never.
Which obviously was yesterday.
First time since never.
No, it's not never. It feels like it's almost never because you and I were probably, I don't know, we had an earring and we had lines in our head when this actually was going. 1988.
Wow, yeah.
1988. What are we talking about 1988? A year after License to Ill, Bobby Brown?
I definitely had lines in my ear.
Oh, yeah,
definitely.
absolutely.
I might have had my number carved in the back of my head at that point.
So did I. But I didn't have straight hair, so it never looked good. Never looked good. But yes, 1988. This is awesome. You know, right now, Lindor, and this is what we needed to see, because this is the story. I mean, Alonso's been really, really good this year, and we talk about Tierney and all the other players that are, contributing and, players stepping up, and Escobar hasn't even gotten going yet, but Marte's starting to rake. Since he came back from his grandmother's passing. I mean, Lindor finally looks like a true star.
Yeah.
I know he had a flash a year ago. I get that. But, and this is not that I care. I actually couldn't care less, to be fair. But I do think that people sometimes, and I used to do this as well, and I guess sometimes I still do this, people hear what they want to hear. So maybe for this show, what they've heard is, this Yankee fan not giving the Mets credit. This Yankee guy, this loudmouth Baldy bagging on the Mets and, a little bit too harsh on Lindor. Hey, you can say that, but here's the bottom line. Until the last 2 weeks, Lindor has not earned his money.
No.
Because last year he wasn't good, and for the first part of this year he wasn't good. I react to what I see. And what I have now seen since I decided to unlock Lindor is a superstar. And that changes the entire equation for the Mets.
And it also, I mean, the other thing about this, they're just fun to watch.
They really are fun.
They do things the right way. They catch the ball. They hustle out infield ground balls, as you talked about. I think they lead the league in infield hits.
Oh, by a mile.
They score
by a mile.
Exactly. They score in so many different ways. It's smashing balls in the gap and coming around from first, like everything that you need. Laying down bunts. They did. Remember at a large clip earlier in the season, they're just fun. It almost feels like, unless it gets really out of hand early, like it did. I think one of the games this weekend last week with Sabucky.
The Giants game.
Yep, with Sabucky. If it doesn't get out of hand, it doesn't feel like the Mets are ever getting run away from. It never does. I mean, they gave up 3 runs in the first inning over the weekend. It was like, yeah, okay, they'll be fine. And they slowly, methodically work their way back into it. And the next thing you know, they're bludgeoning teams that they're supposed to bludgeon. I think that's the biggest thing for me. When I look at a team and I try to determine, hey, man, can they be great? It's, do you win the tough ones, right? The ones you get behind in early and you got to work your way back into it. And then do you take care of the teams that you're supposed to? The Washington Nationals, you should wipe the floor with. What did they do yesterday? They wiped the floor with the Washington Nationals. They're doing the things they're supposed to do, and it makes them just entertaining and fun because you get what you expect. As opposed to, I don't know, keep my breath held here. You get what you expect from these Mets, and that's exciting.
Okay, 877-337-6666. Tiki and Tierney on the Fan. Don't worry, we're doing a lot of Rangers today, but it's a little hot. I don't know if you guys noticed this. It's hot, and gas prices suck. So do yourself a favor, all right? Flip off the AC right now. Roll down those windows. Roll them down. Roll them down. Let's go. Come on. Now batting for the Mets, Francisco Lindor. You're welcome, Met fans. Let's go.
You channeled this?
I did.
You made it happen?
Dude, I unlocked Obi Toppin. I unlocked R.J. Barrett. I am known as the unlocker. I'm not really known for anything else, but I am an unlocker of sorts. Here we go, Met fans. Let it go.
We got the teamwork to make the dream work. Let's go. Let's go, Mets. We're gonna make it this time. We're gonna take it home. Let's go. Let's go, Mets.
It's funny, BT. You talk about Francisco Lindor. He was singing the Rangers goal song. Did you hear this? I saw this in a tweet from Tim Healy.
I didn't see this.
He was humming the Rangers goal song as it played last night at Citi Field. And basically it played all night because the Rangers scored 6 against the Hurricanes. So much for the Hurricanes being undefeated at home, unsurmountable at home. The Rangers smacked him. But he was humming the song. And so he said he wants to do a poll for a fight-type song for the Mets.
Ooh.
Suggestions.
Ooh, well, there it is.
I mean, that's there already. I mean, that's so.
But it's not used.
It's not.
There, but it's been in the annals. Like it's been in the safe.
It's, apparently, some people hate it, even though I don't know how
Who
Mets
hates
fans
that
can hate
song?
it. Remember the guy that called the other day?
That guy's a clown. I don't even know who it is. But he may have been a clown.
Mets song.
He's not the clown that Tony and Lodi is. Tony, where are you? The renowned Francisco Lindor hater.
That's right.
Where are you hiding? What rock is Tony and Lodi hanging out under right now?
So I'm hearing from Francisco Lindor, he wants a fight song.
There it is.
He wants another fight song.
I mean, listen, you could always go like the rap route. You could always go, to me.
Don't you have to do like some sort of hip hop and 20?
You have to do anything. What do you mean you have to do? Why would you have to do anything?
I don't know.
What you have to do is come up with something the fans love.
But
if
isn't
it's a
that
good
the
rap song,
genre
they'll
that
love
crosses over the most at this point?
It probably, but I think that. How about this? Here's the money move. All right. You don't want to bite off the 86 Mets because you'll never be the 86 Mets. The characters, the time.
That's right.
You can never replicate that. But what you can do is modernize. You can tweak. You can update the 86 Let's Go Mets song. How about so you take that as the base and then you modernize it?
Okay.
That's what you should do. Take the hook. I don't know, whatever they do, whatever Dr. Dre does. Do something like that. All right, 877-337-6666. Mets are rocking, Rangers rocking, and it's all good. Pete's in Seaford. Pete is on the fan with Tiki and Tierney. What's happening, Petey?
Hey, good morning, guys. Thanks for taking the call.
Appreciate you.
Last year when the Mets were kind of cruising along in first place, it never really felt like they were cruising, even though, 90 or 100 days they were in first place last year. They never, stomped on the throat. They never put the exclamation point on their lead in that division, and they were always just sort of humming 8-9 games over 500. And I kind of, even though they were always good, they went 15 straight losses followed by a win. I in the back of my head, I'm like, they need to put their foot down on this right now. And now here we go, 4-game win streak, bury the Phillies, the Nationals, got to take care of business these next 2 games. I'm not saying you got to sweep the Nationals, but have to at least win one of the next 2. And now they're allowed to go play 500 baseball on the West Coast for 10 games. They can get away with it. Would I love to see them go out there and play 7 out of 10 on the West Coast? Of course, but the problem last year was they never gave themselves any breathing room, and then they had that brutal series. I think it was Father's Day weekend against the Pirates, or it straddled the All-Star break, where they lost 5 out of 6 to a dead and buried Pittsburgh team. And then that started the tailspin for them.
Yeah. No, it doesn't feel like that's the case. But the other thing this year, doesn't feel like that's going to be the case this year. The other thing is that the teams that they're competing with in the East just can't figure it out.
Oh,
I mean, the Braves we keep talking about, they'll get it right. I mean, the defending World Series champions, but they're playing ping pong baseball right now. Win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. They have a tough road trip ahead of them as well as they go out to Arizona. They just lost the first game of that series, and then Colorado after that. And the Diamondbacks are flying under the radar, but the Diamondbacks have one of the sneaky good teams this year in baseball. So I'm not convinced Atlanta is going to figure it out anytime soon. The Phillies, I mean, hell, they're talking about firing Girardi at this point because he can't find stability, can't find 500. They're 11 and a half games back of the Mets right now. So as much as you say they haven't stepped on the throats of the division, they haven't needed to.
I think who says they haven't stepped on the throat? They're running away with it.
But if they really do, you know what I mean? Go get extra.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Go get whatever the hole is, and because every team has holes, they're not gaping at all for the Mets right now. But if they just go fill a little patch of a hole, and then they're stepping on the division, like some of these callers are calling for. I mean, they could win the division by 15 games, be up by 15 games in the next couple of weeks if they do well on the West Coast.
They're lapping them. The Phillies stink. I'm still. No, I'm not going to put the Braves in the baseball morgue yet. That I can't do. Not just because they won the championship a year ago. They're a different team, obviously, but they've got a lot of talent, and I'm not going to run them, off the track yet. Phillies are done. I mean, Phillies don't catch the baseball.
Nope.
They're a bullpen, bunch of gas cans. I mean, their problems are inherent. I mean, you can't mask
Gas cans. What is that?
It just means you come in and instead of snuffing things out, you make it worse. You inflame the situation.
I haven't heard that one.
They are rough, man. I know they got some mashers, but they are not good. So they got problems. If from the Mets' point of view, this is the perfect time to go and play the Dodgers. Now, even if you split the next 2 games with the Nats and you win the series, which by all assumptions they will, minimally at least win 1 out of 2, I think this is the perfect time to play these good teams. Go to L.A. for 4, go to San Diego for 3, go play the Angels for 3. By the way, the Angels coming into the Bronx this weekend. This week. That'll be fun. So you've got 10 games against possibly 3 playoff teams. Certainly, I would think at least 2. And listen, I don't want to say house money. I don't really believe in that. But if you perform really well, it just further reinforces who you are. If you don't, it might illuminate what you truly need. Yeah. I think it's a great time to really take further stock of who you are.
No, I agree. I mean, everybody that I've Mets fans that talk to me about their team is like, oh, we just need this one little thing. And that one little thing is not apparent. Like, everybody feels like they need something with the Mets, but it's not really
starting
apparent.
Pitching right now. Until those 2 studs come back, I'd still say slightly starting pitching.
Well, you saw the report over the weekend. DeGrom says he feels normal.
He also said that in the spring.
He's probably not actually feeling normal because he hasn't actually thrown a 95-mile-an-hour fastball yet, but he feels normal, and it feels like it's closer than we kind of anticipated back 2-3 weeks ago.
I still think
it was going to be July.
I still think it's July. I do. He still has a long way to go.
It's probably smart to be July as opposed to I need a pitch by the end of June. But the fact that he is where he is, and there is no negative
residue from
residue or even medical opinion coming out, you're encouraged.
Highly encouraged. And I think that since you have such a large lead, you can be conservative.
Yeah,
Previous years, different iterations of Met teams, different manager, they would have, nervous, bring them back, we're falling apart, here we go. Because the Mets aren't falling apart. I mean, the Mets are not falling apart. I don't know that the Mets are going to win the World Series, but I can promise you this, the Mets ain't falling apart. They're not falling apart. Too good. 877-337-6666. So, Tiki and Tierney show on the Fan. Rangers were awesome. We'll work that in. I mean, this Lightning series is going to be a different kind of a challenge. I think true hockey fans know that. But hell, you're knocking on the door at this point. Why not? I mean, why not keep it going? And the Yankees, I don't love what I saw over the weekend. Here's one thing the Yankees must do. I mean, I love what I saw the first part of the weekend when you took 2 out of 2 against Tampa. What the Yankees cannot do, and we'll get to this later. We're going to do Mets and Rangers out of the shoot more than Yankees. But what the Yankees have to stop doing, they have to stop running out in the same game Hicks, Gallo, and Higashioka. Yeah. Those 3 guys can never play in the same game.
Nor can you have Aaron Judge lead off. I hate him in the leadoff. I hate him in the leadoff spot.
I'm with you, Teague. I don't like that either. All right. 877-337-6666. Back to business here on the Fan Tiki and Tierney Show.